Hi everybody, welcome to January 20th to January 26th of 2020. We're going to be pulling general messages for all the signs, but we're going to front load with astrology like I did last time. I'm going to timestamp below in the description box. If you're not interested in this part, I'm going to go through a couple of transits that are happening in the sky, and then I'm going to pull a couple of astrology tarot cards, the Black Moon Tarot, for the general messages, and then I'm going to get into each of the signs. Okay, so starting on the 20th, we have the sun entering Aquarius, guys, at 9:54 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So just apply that time to wherever you are on the planet. So the sun's going to be in Aquarius from the 20th of January to the 18th of February. And during this cycle, we're going to be especially motivated by a hunger for knowledge. Knowledge, experience, originality, something different, innovation, doing things outside of the box, that box that we normally function in. It's just more important to us than doing things as we have been, or maybe how we should be, because it is Aquarius. It's really out of the box, right? We are becoming more aware in this energy of what's outdated in our lives, and we'll be pushing to find new perspectives and new approaches to ways of doing things. To just structure, think about the structure that we've been feeling, right? Under Capricorn, right? It's been like very structure. There are like class distinctions. There's a sense of order that Capricorn finds really appealing, and that we really needed, right, to get this ball rolling, but now seems to be a bit too rigid to all of us. So the freedom of self and the individual is becoming really more important to all of us right now. And we're all feeling it in different areas. I did mention the houses that we're all going to be, and I've mentioned the houses in a couple of videos now at this point, that we're all going to be working through this year. So think about what I'm saying in relation to whatever house it is, right? So if you're Cancer, everything that I'm saying, you're going to be thinking about how to do relationships differently. If you're Virgo in your fifth house, you're going to be thinking about your hobbies and things that you do for fun differently. And you're going to be looking at your relationship with your children differently, right? It depends on, where this is placed. Okay. And I'm just going to keep talking about it probably for the rest of the year. So, but it's really about us striving to free ourselves from some restrictions and inhibitions and limitations that just feel really, really constraining rather than safe. Because for a minute it felt safe, but now it's not safe anymore, And then on the 24th, we have the new moon. New moon in Aquarius, 4:43 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So the new moon in Aquarius marks the beginning of a new cycle for sure. The Capricorn new moon cycle ends, and this new moon cycle begins. And in Aquarius, it's friendship, group activities, socials pursuit, any sort of group gatherings, projects, trying something new, joining a new group, any sort of humanitarian effort actually even falls under this, but all of these things are going to be more of a focus than they have been. So there are new beginnings regarding any of these areas, right? Just really getting out there and getting involved in stuff. And this is a time during which we should solve problems that require thinking outside of the boxes, as I've been talking about. Really look to the future with a brand new positive and hopeful vision. Brainstorm, socialize, just focus on how things are going to be just moving forward, and expressing platonic love for those around us, and giving our emotions and our passions a break as we develop more objectivity and some detachment from past hurts and past haunts, and just connecting with friends, guys. Like seriously, if you don't have friends, then it could be your family, it could be your colleagues, but it's really embracing, friends, family, neighbors, any group activity, anything like that really can be focused on here in such a beautiful way, right? So reaching out to people in your social circle, reaching out to your tribe, and just like recognizing here the value of those friendships and those networks. And also, though, recognize at some level, guys, these people are kind of like your ticket out of, I'm going to call it stage one. I'm going to call January stage one. It's month one, it's stage one of this new shift into this new life, into this new cycle. And I know we've all been feeling it. Oh my gosh, right? It's been big. It's been big. Obviously, depending on where it's hitting you, it's going to be a little more ground shaking than for others, but you definitely want to be looking at your rising sign for this one, guys, for sure. Absolutely. All right. But these friends and family members and our group are going to be helping us to be able to have a sense of detachment from whatever is challenging us to break away from, because there is this breaking away, right, with Saturn and this transformation with Pluto. So we're really going to be needing to rely on our friends, our family, our hobbies, other activities to pivot our thoughts and our attentions to just give us a breather so we can start to heal and move. It's stage one. It's stage one. And with this potent Aquarius energy, we have the chance to make progressive changes in our lives. For some of us, circumstances are such that we need to pay more attention to these matters rather than divert our attention. It does depend on the placement. Now, this phase of the moon is going to be happening at 4 degrees and 22 minutes of Aquarius, affecting people born with personal planets and points at approximately 0 to 8 degrees of the fixed sign. So that would be Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius most significantly. We're all going to be feeling it, but those 4 signs and those degrees are going to be feeling it really much more profoundly, okay, than anyone else. So let's pull a couple of Black Moon Tarot to get a collective message of what we have as we enter this last part. I'm calling it the last part of phase 1 here. 3rd house, okay. It's about communication, messages. This has to do with Mercury, right? So especially like Gemini and Virgo. Saturn, well, of course. Oh, Saturn, I don't know. Getting a little tired of you now. And it just started. Okay, so we have Saturn and we have 3rd house messages, okay? So the 3rd house messages, again, anything mercurial. So this is how you think, feel, write, communicate, anything like that. This is you needing to look at how you're communicating, assess if you're communicating effectively enough, if you are not being too harsh, if you need to change things up in the way you communicate. Now, the fact that we got the 3rd house with Saturn says that you're going to be getting in touch here in this 3rd house energy with something that's very old and outdated. Saturn does that anyway, but you're going to be getting messages, synchronistic messages coming into your life that's really going to be highlighting what really needs to go, what like literally has become like necrotic. Do you know what I mean? Like dying skin. I hate to say it like that, but it's kind of like that in a way. It takes a long time to happen, but when it happens, it just starts to like fall off, right? So this is what's really happening here. And Saturn with the truth, I mean, this says it might feel bad now, but it's going to be resolved. Saturn's the planet, it's the planet of the Reaper, the Lord of Karma. And this, it's a rainbow planet, represents what's tangible and solid in our lives. The Greeks called Saturn Kronos. So a lot of you guys might have heard Kronos and Saturn being used interchangeably. So we could thank the Greeks for that. And Kronos was the father of Zeus. And Kronos devoured his children to prevent losing his throne as the king of the gods. So Saturn in astrology is often referred to as the god who ate his own children. Isn't that lovely, right? Because of the energy of this planet seems to show no mercy. But Saturn is not exactly cruelty. It simply points out what's true and cuts away what's delusional or no longer useful in our life. So, this is definitely a time where you're going to feel challenged. We're all feeling it anyway. This is like, I'm like preaching to the choir here. You guys all know this. But it's time to make it or break it, guys, for real. I mean, the fact that this came up is important. Life may seem harsh and very restrictive right now. The truth of the matter is you're facing an enemy who may be yourself right now. And Saturn shows us that at times it's in our better interest, not to have those things we want. And that if we were to have them, it could only ultimately lead to our destruction. And that really is so true. So if this is a time for any of you where you're feeling sad, or if you're feeling hopeless, realize that it's all about the diligence and sticking to what you believe in, adhering to your goals, to what you know is right. As this is a period in your life that emphasizing toughness and work is really important. It's all about not giving up and following through, and there's so much goodness on the other side of this. So much good. So we're going to be looking at stuff that's got to go. Yep, that's what we have, and that is the astrology section, guys. Let's pull some cards. Hi Aries, I hope you guys are doing great today. Welcome back to my channel. We're going to be pulling general messages for Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for the 20th of January to the 26th. And let's get right into your crowning energy. Let's see what Aries needs to know. Any advice for Aries? Any advice for Aries as a crowning energy that Aries might need to know? Unfinished symphony. So this is all about something is unfinished, an unfinished business, an incomplete lesson. You're feeling a lack of closure in one part of your life. This is the need to make amends. Okay, this is the need to make amends. So make sure you're completing projects now, first of all, before starting new ones. Okay, let's just get that obvious one out of the way. Maybe you've created something special that will increase your sense of abundance and bring you opportunities for more money and more opportunities. However, if you don't see it through, it's not going to add up to much more than like clutter, right? So now's the time to put your nose to the grindstone, complete any tasks that you've accumulated, pay your bills, sign whatever papers you have to sign, do whatever filing, if you do that, whatever. Hand in assignments, complete something. Like something needs to be completed here for sure. Tie up loose ends. It's about tying up loose ends so you can move forward with a sense of, I don't know, like a surety, right? Like where you just know there's nothing left hanging over, you know? So this way you can move forward with a feeling of like fresh. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, and now for some of you having to do with relationship, I do have to say this does indicate you having some trouble moving forward, you know, and it's of course always difficult when love is still lingering and there are things left unsaid, right? And you haven't really had the opportunity for closure in your relationship and in your heart, so you might still feel bound up in the, in the energy of the relationship when the closure is denied. So it's important to achieve this for yourself. So, I don't know, like write that text or write that email, make that call or have that conversation if you can, just for peace of mind. Right now for yourself, accept matters as they are, make amends if need be, declare your feelings if that's appropriate, and even if only to yourself, guys, because I know a lot of you guys are in situations where you can't really have that, So be clear about what was left unresolved and just to try to really close that door, just to heal. But that's, But I do get for a lot of you, there's something left unfinished as far as like a project goes, or seeing something all the way through, something like that. Something. Oop. Oh, we got a whole bunch. Let's see. Do we want to take them? Why not? 2 of air. 10 of fire. Okay. 10 of fire is 10 of swords. 10 of wands. So we have 2 of swords as the foundation. So there's conflict. There's being a cross purposes with yourself. Okay. Now, let me just pull the cards and then we'll talk about it. All right, so the 2 of air is 2 of swords, which is about being at cross purposes, either with yourself or with another individual. This could be you feeling very confused about 2 paths, 2 truths for you. Okay, and this could also indicate you being at cross purposes with someone. For example, let's say if you are married, your spouse wants you to take a certain job that you don't want to take, or wants you to quit a certain job, or has a way in their mind that things should be, and you guys are just not seeing eye to eye. You're just not seeing eye to eye on things. And we have the Ten of Fire again. This is the Ten of Wands. This indicates the end of a cycle as it was. And this is really all about just being emotionally tapped the hell out. Just tapped out. You know, this is a card of the multitasker, so some of you might just be super, super busy with a lot of things right now. So it's kind of like out in reality and in your head, you're just really jamming with information, and you just like, you've reached capacity. You got to put the wands down. You can't do it anymore. You simply can't do it anymore. There's a definitive end of a cycle. But this is the thing here. We have the call card that's reversed. And in the call, when we have the call in the upright, this energy is all about hearing the call of our soul for what we're supposed to be doing within a situation. So if this has to do with a relationship, I mean, really, this could kind of go across the board, everything I just said. The Two of Aries, again, being across purposes. It could be within a relationship with a friend, a family member, or a boss, employee, whatever. But there is then an end of a cycle because there isn't a meeting of the minds. But when we have the call here, regarding whatever the situation is, you're not hearing something. Because the call in the upright is about hearing the call of truth, of the path that you're supposed to go on, of reality, of honesty, of all of that. So I'm getting that you guys have this reading it's being crowned by not having these messages in. So this could be you, or it could be somebody you're dealing with, guys, because the general messages, the energies can always be flip-flop. And if the messages don't fit, guys, please don't try to make them, okay? Please don't. But this is what I'm getting here. You're either not being honest with yourself about what's going on in the situation, or you're dealing with this with somebody else. And there is like a piece of the puzzle that's missing, either in your mind or in somebody else's mind regarding the situation. And then we have the Two of Cups as the foundation, which is beautiful. I mean, the Two of Cups is about acknowledging that you want to share something in the heart space, whether it's a friendship, a family connection, an intimate relationship, or anything having to do with a career, where it's something that you guys have this shared wanting for. And it's really, really beautiful. So to have this as the foundation is very interesting to me. So let's see what else comes out. I have in the past, we have the 10 of Cups reversed. So just the fact that it shows up is still very positive. And as I say, with the 10 of Cups reversed, it indicates that the connection isn't as healthy as it should be. The communication is not as healthy as it should be, but it's because of external circumstances. Family's getting in the way. Friends are getting in the way. Work is getting in the way. There are things getting in the way here that are preventing you guys. And it's like, it's almost like, you know, for a while, you're sort of like acting out the role of somebody in that job, in that relationship, where you're showing up and you're almost like in a robotic way doing what you have to do. And it's not that your emotions aren't there. It's not that you even hate your job. It's not that you hate your friends, family, or your intimate other. It's not what it is at all. It's just that all these other things are in the way, and there are just a lot of things that need a couple of things that need addressing in order for this to turn upright, right? But now this was in the past. So the past, I'm feeling, is what's putting you in this Two of Swords energy, right? Feeling that you're at this cross purposes that ended up ending the cycle. I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory. But right now, representing you is the Queen of Fire, right? So this is the Queen of Swords, Queen of Wands. I keep doing that. It's Queen of Wands. So as the Queen of Wands, there is so much passion in your belly, so much will. You are very excited about something. You really are. I mean, this is very positive. This is about recognizing what needs to be done. You really tapped into your intuition. You're very focused. There's a laser focus and a fire in your belly for either a relationship or a job offer or something going on in another part of your life. Now, the external influence to you in this position is the Page of Fire reverse. So this is the Page of Wands reverse. So the Page of Wands reverse is, this does indicate delay, right? But this can indicate, this can be you, which I don't think it is because you are the Queen of Fire. There's somebody that you're dealing with here. As a page is somebody who's immature in how they're dealing with moving forward. So some of you may be dealing with somebody who is just acting very emotionally immature regarding the movement forward in this cycle. So whether it's you're realizing that you want to take a certain chance in work and your partner is really not on board with you, and that could be creating the Two of Swords energy, you know, where you guys are at cross purposes. This could certainly be a boss, employee, employers, somebody acting very immature in your space, a family member, a friend, you know, but you, meanwhile, you're like, I'm the Queen of Fire. It's just, you know what? I'm the Queen of Fire. Please step aside. I just don't see this really inhibiting that mindset of yours, because you're going to be very laser focused. The Ace of Fire is your fear. So we have a lot of fire here for sure. So that, yeah, I mean, so this indicates to me that you're afraid that you're not going to have this new beginning, this new cycle. And I feel like for many of you, it's because of one particular person that's kind of getting in your way. So it could be somebody at work, it could be a family member, it could be your partner, for sure. Then we have the Four of Swords. So, you know, this is the Four of Aries, the Four of Swords. And this is your outcome energy, okay? So guys, I mean, we really need to think about what your truth is. Where do you want to go? What do you want to happen? What do you want your outcome to be? Because in this energy, it's all about, you need to embrace the truth. You know, the Four is a very stable sign, and air is all about truth. And then we have, in your near future, we have the Eight of Wands. And the Eight of Wands is being so in charge of what you want. You have so much fire in your belly. You've been through so much. And the thing is, this is the energy of experience. Like, you guys have been through it. So if this has to do with a relationship, you guys have been through so much, but you still have juice left in you for them. If this has to do with a job, you don't hate your job, you don't hate your career, you're excited about evolving into this next phase, but there's no denying that you've been through a lot. There's no denying. There's been a lot. There's been a lot. But I want to get some clarification on this, the Two of Cups energy here, this beautiful energy in the foundation. Because I do feel like underneath supporting everything that you're doing now is somebody who really loves you, or at least has really good wishes for you, wants to do something with you. Okay, two of Earth, Six of Air, Three of Water. Okay, so we have the Two of Pentacles reversed. So you're not making a decision right now. And then we have the Six of Swords in the reverse. So this is mentally moving away from something that's very toxic. And then we have the Three of Water, which is a celebration card, but in the reverse, it indicates some irresponsible behavior, kind of going off track. It could indicate irresponsible partying, irresponsible flirting with other people. And then we have the Eight of Water in the reverse, which is, with a heavy heart, you're recognizing that the cycle needs to end. So, you know, there's love here. There is certainly love. There is certainly love. But there's also this confusion regarding, there is this moving away because of the end of a cycle. We have two moving away cards. And then we have this Three of Water, which is the Three of Cups. And this again, I mean, this does indicate like somebody at least mentally, and I'm going to say that because it's next to the 6 of air in reverse, at least mentally, Aries, I'm getting that you're kind of stepping out of a situation that you're in mentally, at least. Whether it's a relationship, whether it's a job. And really, I feel like it's more to give yourself a reprieve from the nonsense than from anything else. You know, but you want to keep in mind, you got this unfinished symphony here. And you want to make sure that you're being super honest with yourself about how things are rolling out. You know, you want to make sure of that. That's what I'm getting for that, yeah. But you're the Queen of Fire. But you want to make sure you're being really super honest with yourself in this energy. And let's pull for some love. Those of you who are in the space of love, I'm going to pull some qualifiers. Pull a Whispers of Love card. Whispers of Love, Aries. Love who you are. You are divine, delightful, deserving of wonderful things, the wonderful things that life has to offer. You know, this is very poignant, actually, for those of you who are connecting with the unfinished symphony in a way where you really need to let go of something in a relationship. You know, we should always love who we are. Should always love who we are. Okay, let's love oracle. See what we get. Okay, only time will tell. Life is a series of constantly shifting cycles. When we resist change, we resist the natural flow of life and create unnecessary stress. Go with the flow. You will be surprised where it leads. And then acceptance is the key to inner peace. At times we must accept things are as they are, right? We were talking about that. There is no point to trying to change that which is beyond our control. All right, so listen, there is definitely, there's a lot of acceptance here. I just sense this. Let's see what the Element Wellness give us. The Runner, the Butterfly, the Sword and Rose. So the Runner indicates a runner in a codependent relationship, fear of intimacy, listening to ego. Then we have the Butterfly, relationship evolving to the next phase, healing the inner child, growth. The Sword and Rose, clarity, truth revelation, solidarity, force, protection, power. So guys, I mean, for a lot of you, this unfinished symphony can be you guys going back to a relationship. For many of you that aren't in the space of relationship, it could be you going back to a project and finishing it a better way, a way of leveling it up, because this is your year to do that. Absolutely. And it's all about that for you guys this year. But for those of you who are in a space of relationship, if you're feeling very strongly like there's something unfinished that's still got health involved in it, some way healthy, I'm getting that you're recognizing that what you were in was very unhealthy, very toxic. It had to end. That's part of the shifting of the cycles. You need to accept this, you know, and you need to accept that whatever was is no more. Have that acceptance. Recognize where there may have been an issue with fear of intimacy, an issue with ego, an issue with codependency on one side or another. And really being very front and center with the truth. You know? And the Sword and Rose is all about, it's about clarity that's gained through telling the truth so that you can have this relationship evolve to the next phase. Healing the inner child and growth. Beautiful. Definitely like an out with the old, whatever that was though. Like whatever you guys were doing that was like toxic in the relationship, that just isn't coming forward. And you know what's really cool about this energy? We can bitch and moan all we want about how we feel this energetic restlessness inside, and we feel kind of weird and off, and there's this weirdness and offness to everything around us right now. Yeah, all right, no kidding, because this is like we're entering a new phase in our lives that we've never seen before. But at the same time, this is a really good energy to actually like be able to seriously start over. Do you know what I mean? Like seriously, you know, it's so hard. You know, especially if you've been through like a very heady relationship and there was a lot of, you know, ugly fighting and this, that. It's really, really hard to start over like fresh, you know, where you're not going back and saying, and you used to do this too, and you're doing this again, and you're never going to change. And well, you know, that's so unproductive. Nice. Well, there was pain. That's not nice. It's the card of pain, but I like it in the reverse because this indicates truth coming out, clarity, exactly what the sword and the rose said. Okay, and the page of wands, page of swords is really great because this is about a new truth and a new cycle. There's a new cycle. The page is the young'un of the court, so this indicates a new way of. A new message is coming in, okay? The page of swords is good, solid messages coming in, good news coming in, positive messages coming in, really, really good. Queen of Pentacles, understanding what's necessary to have a relationship, understanding on every level. That's why I love the Pentacle energy, because it's not only about money and resources. It's about how we do connection, mental, physical, emotional connection. And it's just being in a space of you guys figuring it out. And I love the Nine of Swords reverse because this shows that you have gone through the worst of it. You're on the path to healing. Because this is the 3 a.m. anxiety card in the upright, but in the reverse, it's you've been through the hardest part. That's over, and now you're in the healing phase, and you know you're heading north now on that. So if this resonates with you guys are having a reconciliation with somebody who you had a very kind of toxic kind of sort of connection with, you know. But I feel like you guys are reconnecting in a much, much healthier way, like a fresh slate. This is a fresh slate energy. And you guys are going to be getting very honest about your codependency, fear of intimacy, ego issues, all of that, you know, and just really like laying it all out, realizing that there is no value to not recognizing if we have these things cooking in us. There's no value. It doesn't benefit us to deny it. It really doesn't. It ends up creating energetic blocks in us. So I really like this for you, Aries. I hope, you know, if this resonated with you. If it didn't resonate with you, then this particular reading is not your message, guys. But nonetheless, thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.